Well, a local teenager is doing a lot more than typical high school right now. Crime 2's Tim Pham sat down with a teenager who is a 2024 Young Woman of Achievement honoree and has already done 2 TED Talks.
This morning, we have a very special guest with us, 16-year-old Sindhu Surapaneni. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So we have you here on the show because you have quite the impressive resume. At 16 years old, you've already given 2 TED Talks. You won a lot of awards. Your mama's very proud of you. Here we have on display. Tell us about how you got started, because during COVID, you actually started giving back already.
Yeah, so my journey started in COVID when I was around 11 years old, and that's when I noticed I had a lot of free time at hand, so I started doing art, and I got good at it quickly, and then I realized all the other kids are also bored, so I started doing free online lessons, sharing my artwork with others and teaching them how to do art, and eventually things just grew. I taught around like 300 free art lessons.
Wow.
And then from there I started charging a small fee of $10, and I was able to make over $30,000 from then.
No way.
Yeah, and I donated that money to organizations that support the homeless and low-income families here in Spokane.
That's incredible.
Thank you. But yeah, that's how my journey started, and eventually just progressed and grew from there.
Okay. And then it wasn't just art lessons, it became also dance lessons too. And also you look gorgeous this morning. This is a beautiful outfit. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I started doing dance in 2021, and I started just choreographing my own dances for fun and doing my cultural dance. But then I started teaching it to others, like a couple friends in the neighborhood. And then eventually I got invited to community events to perform. And from there, events just grew, and I was able to perform at all sorts of different stages. And just a couple weeks ago, I was able to perform in Detroit at a national convention where it's for the Telugu Association of North America, and there's around 12,000 people there, I think. And I was able to perform on that stage, sharing my culture and a part of me.
And tell us about the dance, right? So it involves a hula hoop, right? So tell us a little bit more about that performance.
Yeah, so I started with just kind of like Bollywood dancing from my culture, then eventually I kind of wanted to make a difference. So I started doing hula hooping while dancing to also bring in a part of my culture, but just something unique with it as well, and that's how I got invited to perform there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and then I have to ask you about the TED Talks. Briefly tell us about the TED Talks, because that's impressive. 16 years old, already have 2 TED Talks under your belt.
So the first one was here in Spokane, and that was about how your age should never stop you from making a difference in others' lives, but also accomplishing your own goals and dreams. And then the second one was in New York, and that was about how there will be negative obstacles in your life, but you can't let them break you down. You have to get back up from them, because good things will eventually come.
Absolutely. Okay, and then also we got to talk about HOSA. You went to this other conference in Nashville.
Yeah.
Tell us about that conference.
Yeah, so about a month ago, it was HOSA Internationals, and in Nashville, I was able to place 4th in my category, job seeking skills. And that was a really great opportunity to expand my horizons and start doing different things. I didn't really do anything in the healthcare field before, but now I was able to do that, and it was a really great opportunity.
Wow. Okay, what do you want to say to other young people watching? How would you encourage them?
I would encourage them to always shoot for their goals and dreams, no matter how crazy they may seem. Honestly, when I was younger, I never expected to be where I am today. I was super introverted growing up, and a lot of people, when they knew me when I was younger, don't even recognize who I am today. Just the way I've changed and was able to go outside of my comfort zone, never be afraid to do things that you never thought you'd do, because eventually you will get there if you put your mind to it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.